It is finally official, man. We have been waiting for days at this point to actually get the results to come in. A lot of states were still counting mail-in votes and all kinds of other things. It's been a confusing mess. But the United States has finally elected its next president. Between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, the two major candidates, Joe Biden has been elected to be the 46th president of the United States. Before Donald Trump's tenure as president, Joe Biden was the vice president behind Barack Obama. So this is now, I guess, a natural step up in his progression of politics, going all the way up to vice president, and then now officially being called the 46th president of the United States. At least that's what's currently being projected by pretty much everybody. So it's been a confusing mess, like I said. Nothing is full-on confirmed yet. I mean, it's essentially all but confirmed at this point, but the presidential races have been called by the people who have been tracking them and things like that, you know, the Associated Press and all the different media outlets. So Joe Biden has run for president 3 times now in his career and is now finally, I guess, the time here that he's broken through and made it into the office. Along with Joe Biden now being elected president, Kamala Harris, who is now the first woman vice president of all time and the first person of color vice president of all time, setting, I guess, another record or another, I guess, big moment, a monumental moment in that office as well. This has definitely been a very weird election. It's been a historic election at that too. Voter turnout was definitely higher this year than it was in the 2016 election. The build-up to this election was absolutely insane. I've been kind of covering that. And the fact that it actually took days for us to even have any results about the election was also pretty crazy. From whatever I can remember, I'm only 20 years old. I've never seen us have to wait this long to see anything about an election. I mean, the day was November 3rd when everyone went to vote and whatnot in person. That was the last day to vote, election day, I guess, and we just now finally got an answer, so I've never seen us have to wait days that I can remember to see who the next president of the country would be. Now, a lot of the holdups surrounded mail-in ballots and everything, which have already been a controversial topic this year, and I guess building up to this entire election in the first place. Democrats usually are for mail-in ballots. They think that they're, an integral part of the election process and whatnot, and especially Donald Trump and his cabinet and his administration and the people around him. They're quite opposed to mail-in ballots. Trump has made the claims before that mail-in ballots are not really secure. It can lead to a lot of voting fraud. There could be a lot of issues miscounting them or possibly rigging it in favor of somebody like Joe Biden. And those claims have been echoed even all the way through this election and into the days afterwards. Donald Trump has been on Twitter proclaiming that he won the presidency, he won the election. He's called for them to stop the mail-in votes and stuff from being counted after election day. I just saw a video earlier I wish I could find again. It was on social media somewhere, but there were literally Trump supporters outside of a poll office, right, where they were, I guess, still counting votes, and they were literally on their knees, like, praying to God that they would stop counting in any of the mail-in ballots, right? So it's definitely been a weird election. It's been a tense election at that. People from both sides have gotten very heated with one another. There was a lot of worry about civil unrest after the election. There have been some protests and things like that going on, even on the day of the election and whatnot. There was a lot going on, right? But it wasn't anything like I really expected, or at least it hasn't reached that point yet. I was kind of afraid, especially if Trump won office, that there was going to be like legitimate riots, that there was going to be, cities on fire again, people in the streets, clashes with the police and all kinds of other stuff, I guess, going on. As a matter of fact, I think that was kind of a widespread concern, considering the fact that on the day of the election at the White House, they put up this non-climbable wall around the entire premises of the building. So it seems like the Secret Service, the Washington, D.C. police, kind of, I guess, expected some unrest, maybe expected something to possibly happen or be staged at the White House. So it's definitely been a tense one. If you guys haven't seen any of my other videos about the election up until this point, I was extremely nervous because of the things that we had been seeing, Going on social media building up to this entire thing, you had supporters from both sides that were just, they hate the other side, right? Democrats, left-wing, people who support Biden will often, make the point that people who vote for Trump either are racist or they endorse racism, xenophobia, homophobia, all kinds of other different things, right? Basically proclaiming that these people have eschewed morals and that they're possibly bad people because of their support for Trump. You have people on the right wing, Republicans, Trump supporters, all that kind of stuff, making the claim that the left is way too sensitive all the time and that they're cheating in this election because of the mail-in ballots and stuff, making the claims that some states saw unprecedented rises in mail-in ballot counting that all went to Biden and things like that. As a matter of fact, it was actually kind of a worry, I guess, echoed by the Trump administration. as they filed 3 separate lawsuits related to this election as it was kind of going down. They wanted Republican, I guess, vote watchers and stuff there for the mail-in ballot process to make sure that there was no fraud or whatever going on. So it's been tense, it's been a mess, and honestly, I think at this point, I'm just really glad to see an answer to the question, because at the end of the day, man, it was getting annoying. I mean, ever since Trump got in office, right, that's what people have been talking about. Oh, we got to get Trump out of office, we got to get Trump out, and all these different things, right? Like, people for 4 years now have been building this election up to be what it became. Oh, it's historic, you need to vote, things like that. There was so much pressure to vote this year, which, I mean, is a good and bad thing. I mean, voting obviously is a really good, responsible thing to do, but I think pressuring people all the time and annoying them probably will not lead them to vote more. I don't know, maybe I was wrong and that's why voter turnout went through the roof, but, you know, it had been tense all these years, right, with all of this pressure from both sides claiming that, you know, supporting the other side was going to destroy America and all this kind of stuff. Honestly, even with the 2016 election, which was bad, right, I had never seen anything like this, and I'm just glad that now this is all coming to an end, if anything. You know, at least how prominent that it is. It feels like we've been building this volcano up and it finally erupted, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be 4 years before we see anything like this again, right? Like, I'm about to enjoy these next 4 years of just some silence about this whole thing, right? Like, it's finally over with. I'm finally not going to be hated by half of the country for whoever I support, which, funny enough, I didn't actually like either of the candidates, but you know, it's just been annoying, and I'm just glad that it's finally over with. You know, sitting there wondering, like, who is actually going to be the president for a few days? It gets stressful after a while, dude. Like, we were all getting kind of stressed out. We're all just looking at Nevada like, hey, you guys, you fucking doing anything? You know? You guys working today? What's going on, guys? But yeah, Joe Biden is now president. Once again, I wasn't a huge fan of either candidate. I think they both had, you know, pros and cons, but personally, I wouldn't have wanted either of them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there was better options. But I think a lot of the sentiment already is people kind of thinking that Joe Biden is either going to do a really good job if you support him or a bad job, obviously, if you don't support him. A lot of people are claiming that, oh, it's over, Joe Biden's president now, which is the same mentality that they've been mocking people on the left for having about Donald Trump for 4 years, right? But personally, I really honestly hope that even though I didn't support either candidate, I hope that Joe Biden comes into office and does a great job for the next 4 years. I hope that his administration fixes a lot of problems in this country. Am I saying automatically that they're going to? Of course not. I have no idea how the Biden presidency is going to turn out or anything like that, but I think it's really fucking stupid to sit there and genuinely hope that the president is going to do a bad job just so you could say you're right. Like, you realize that this person and their administration and their decisions are going to affect your life, right? So if they're doing a shitty job as president of the country that you live in, you work in, your family lives in, then that's going to negatively affect your life. So yeah, you're like, oh, I'm going to trade my life being worse for 4 years so I can say I was right about this guy in office, and no one's even going to give a fuck, dude. Like, if we're sitting there and you're like, I told you Biden was going to suck, I'm just going to be like, yeah, I mean, that's cool, dude. Well, you were right, I guess. And, you know, continue to eat my ravioli or whatever, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck if you predicted he was going to suck. I just want a good president. You know what I'm saying? I want life for people to be better. I want America to be what America's actually supposed to be about. Because, I mean, let's keep it $1.50. America right now, we're not doing too hot when it comes down to it. America is not in the position that it should be in. We hate each other more than ever right now. The economy is, you know, it's trying to gas back up and get back from the pandemic shit, but lots of people don't have jobs right now. They're struggling to feed their families. You know what I'm saying? School isn't the same as it used to be. Kids are learning online. A lot of kids can't do that. We're losing family members to COVID and all kinds of other shit. Like, you know, it's already sucked enough, right? We've already had a bad enough year. In all reality, America hasn't been doing too hot for a couple years now, but why the fuck would I ever sit there and genuinely hope that President Biden does bad? Because I want all of our lives to be better. I don't want, you know, only Biden supporters' lives to be better. I don't want only Trump supporter lives to be better. I want everyone to have a better quality of life. I want everyone to have a better time here. I want America to be the best place on planet Earth to be for anyone. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be a place where you can't trust the government or you can't fucking trust the person in charge, which honestly, that's what it is at this point, because the vast majority of Americans at this point don't trust the government. They don't trust the future and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be that way. So I'm going to support Joe Biden until he gives me a reason not to. Have I been a vehement Biden supporter or Trump supporter? No, of course not. But that doesn't mean that I can't decide to, you know, try and give this a fucking clean slate. And I feel like that's what more Americans should be doing. I feel like that's what more people here should be doing, because we're all in this fucking boat together, man. And if Biden pokes more holes in it, we're just going to be sinking faster. So, I mean, unless you want to fucking drown, then I would say you probably should support him. and hope that he does well. But, I'm just glad that this is all over with, man, and I can finally just, move on. We can all move on with our lives and try and get back to, I don't know, eating microwavable pizza and watching Sunday night football again. Like, I don't know, dude. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. I'm messing up already. I'm already messing up my outro. It's too early for all this. But follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubToptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, supporting the new president and signing out.